أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. Welcome to Ramadan Upgraded Room, Day 11, where we take advantage of Ramadan every minute, every second, every hour, every week, every day in this Ramadan. We try to get the most that we could get from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, I welcome you all on this in this operating room. Alhamdulillah, we talked about al-afu bayn al-nas, pardon between the ummah, among the people, and we brought the story between Aisha radiallahu anha, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and her parents. And we said Mr. a cousin, was one of the people who was propagating this false news about her. And inshallah, now that Aisha radiallahu anha had gone back to her parents, waiting on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to clean her from this evil falsehood that the munafiqun among the ummah had brought against her. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wiped her tears by revealing chapter 24 verses 22, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that verse said, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولا يأتل أولو الفضل منكم والسعة أن يؤتوا أولي القربى والمساكين والمهاجرين في سبيل الله وليعفوا وليصفحوا ألا تحبون أن يغفر الله لكم والله غفور رحيم. Before, the sabab nuzul on this verse was when Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu realized that Mistah was one of the people who was propagating this false information among the ummah. He swore by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to help him again. He swore by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to shelter him again. He swore by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to have anything to do with him. Because Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he used to clothe him, he used to feed him, he gave him shelter, he supported him financially. So when this news broke and Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu realized that Mr. was one of them, he swore by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to have to do anything with him again, not to support him financially, not to shelter, not to do anything with him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, verses 23, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this verse to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam after he had cleaned her from where the verse started. إن الذين جاءوا بالإفك عصبة منكم لا تحسبوا شرا لكم بل هو خير لكم لكل امرئ منهم اكتسب من الإثم والذي تولى until he got to ولا يأتل أولي الفضل منكم والسعة أن يؤتوا أولي القربى والمساكين والمهاجرين في سبيل الله وليعفوا وليصفحوا ألا تحبون أن يغفر الله لكم والله غفور رحيم. Do not swear by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from amongst you whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had blessed with wealth, had blessed with sustenance, saying you're not going to cater, you're not going to financially support, you're not going to help the aqarib, your close friends, your kinsmen, your acquaintances, you're not going to help them. Do not swear by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not swear by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you're not going to help the muhajirin, those who are fighting in the cause of Allah, those who are helping in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who have migrated to help fight for Islam. And the poor amongst you, do not swear that you're not going to support them. وَلْيَعْفُوا وَلْيَصْفَحُوا. Pardon and forgive. وَلْيَعْفُوا وَلْيَصْفَحُوا. Pardon and forgive. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have used forgiveness. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought pardoning and forgiving. They are two different things. To pardon is not to hold that person with any sin. Not to hold that person with any sin. You clear him of anything that he has done between you and him. To clear. Don't even think about that again. And forgiveness from the bottom of your heart. You don't want to think about it. You have forgiven him for the sins that he has done against you. But that could remind you, when you see the person, it could remind you of that incident between you and the person. So Allah brought al-afwa first to clear, not to even think about it, to upset you. So Allah said, وَلْيَعْفُوا وَلْيَصْفَحُوا, pardon them and forgive them. أَلَا تُحِبُّونَ أَن يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ, do you not want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive you? There is a condition over there. Before Allah forgives you, you should be willing to forgive your brother. Before Allah forgives you, you should be willing to forgive your brother. So, in this month of Ramadan, we should be willing to forgive. We should be willing to pardon. We should be willing not to go back to how foul people have done to us. Not to go back to. Because the moment we go back to those kind of incidents we found ourselves earlier on, that means it's going to be irritating and be bringing up incidents and be bringing up memories that could trigger another thing. So we pardon, then forgive. But when we forgive, we might end up not pardoning. So we pardon, clear it from our minds, and then forgive. So we're going to stop here, and inshallah, on our next episode, we look at the word أَلَا تُحِبُّونَ أَن يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ. That sentence, we look at it and then continue on our next episode, inshallah. وإلى لقاء آخر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.